Today I'm going to be sharing with you more police related things. I know you guys love police related videos, so I want to try to do more for you guys. If there's something that I haven't covered that you guys want me to talk about, leave it in the comments down below and I will add that to the list. I just want to try to do everything that you guys request, just because I want to make content that you guys want to see, obviously, and police related stuff does very well on my channel, which is lovely. Today I'm going to talk about the top essentials that police officers need. I'm not talking about vests, gun belts, stuff like that. Not the obvious things that police officers need. More so just miscellaneous things that I find that I use on the regular basis. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you do, and follow me on Instagram. First thing I want to share is a flash drive. This I use probably every day, especially if I'm going to be writing a report. I definitely recommend saving your reports on a flash drive. Save them in general. It's super important in case you have to go back and look at them. This I picked up from Walmart, I think. Flash drives, I find that they don't really run out of space. So, I mean, you can store a lot. I just have it on my little key ring. I do wear this on my gun belt throughout my shift. And you can always put like reference material on your flash drive in case you may have a question and you need something to reference back in order to do it correctly. So, definitely recommend getting a flash drive. Flashlight charger. When I was on nights, I was charging my flashlights once a week at least. And I have two. Definitely recommend getting two. One dies, you can use the other. I mean, you can obviously get more than two. When I charge one, I at least have one that's ready to go. On nights, I use flashlights way more than I do on the day shift. But I definitely recommend having this in your car, having it in your bag, so that you can just whip it out and use it. Now, what I like about this one is you can just attach it to the computer because it comes with a USB. I will try to link this in the description box down below. I'll try to link everything in the description box. I have one flashlight from them, and then I have another one that I can't fully remember the brand, but it's just crucial to have flashlight chargers. I remember my first and second year I didn't have one, and I'm like, what the hell, how am I supposed to charge my flashlight? Because the first one that I got didn't come with a charger. That's because it was battery operated. Oh, you guys, I do not recommend getting a flashlight where you have to change the batteries on a regular basis. They die way too quickly, and it's just not worth it at the end of the day. Spend the extra money on an actual flashlight that charges. That was another mistake that I made my first and second year. This is probably just self-explanatory, but a traffic vest. When you're out in the middle of the street, you want to be able to be seen. So wear something that's reflective. We wear basically all blue, dark blue. It kind of looks black. So it's important that you have something that's reflective so that people can see you on the street. Utilize safety as much as you can. Gloves. These are super important, especially nowadays with the whole COVID crap going around. Do not touch someone without a dang glove on. I keep a box of these latex gloves in my bag. My bag sits in the passenger seat, so I can grab these whenever I need extras. I can give them to other officers that maybe don't have gloves. I keep two latex gloves in my glove pouch in the back on my duty belt, so I also have some there. You can get these anywhere. Walmart, I think Target has them. If your police department has some laying around, just snag a few, put them in your bag so that you have them. I actually have two different gloves that I fluctuate between. These are Kevlar palm duty glove. Mine is in the size extra small. These, I find that they kind of run a little bit bigger. Kevlar is usually good when it comes to gloves because it'll protect you a little bit more. These are the pig gloves. These are super form-fitting. You don't want gloves that are loose on your hand because while wearing these kind of gloves, you want to be able to feel if people are concealing weapons, if they have needles, which you always ask prior to searching a person. If they have needles, anything that's going to poke me, stick me, before you even touch a person. Next thing I want to talk about is a clipboard. I got this at Walmart. I love how compact and simple it is. A lot of the old time guys used to bring around this giant metal box clipboard that I just think is so ridiculous. I would never use a clipboard like that. It's just big, bulky, out of control. This is like an open 30 report that I'm working on that I keep in here. And then we also have patrol logs that we have to fill out, fingerprint and photograph order. So I don't keep like everyday kind of forms in here. It's more like reference material and just my logs, filing folders. So this is where I keep the bulk of my forms that I use on a regular basis, like tow sheets, the traffic safety grant sheet that we have to fill out when we do certain details, the property release form, dog control form, authorization to obtain medical record form. I definitely recommend carrying one of these because you have so many forms that you have to carry with you, and if you don't have them while you're out in the field, it's just a pain in the butt. You can even write on the little tabs on what each form is, so it just keeps it nice and organized. I have this right in my bag that sits on the passenger side, so I can just reach over, grab it, and I'm good to go. Also want to share this police reference manual. So my sergeant actually gave this to me. On the side here is just a bunch of tabs of things that he organized. I love the organization and the thought that went into this. It's so genius. He has like a tab for case law, critical incidents. Sometimes you just don't encounter a situation for a really long time, and the last time you even talked about it or thought about it was in the academy. This is such a good reference manual. DWI procedures. I learned DWI procedures very quickly when I was on nights, so that's why it's really good to fluctuate between the different shifts when you first start as a new officer, so that you learn the different calls on each shift. Domestic violence, that is a huge call that we deal with on a regular basis. So you really want to be familiar with the domestic incident report. One thing that is on there, it says, what is the first thing that the victim said to you when you arrived on scene? So you want to make sure that that is accurate. This also has the term marital property shall mean all property acquired by either or both spouses during the marriage and before the execution of a separation agreement. That's just something to really remember, because a lot of times people will fight about marital property when they're in a domestic related situation. Legal updates, juvenile arrest. Juvenile arrests are so freaking tricky and just hard to deal with. It's something that you might want to get acquainted with because you don't deal with it a lot, and when you do, it's just tricky to deal with. Weapon cases, so if you have to deal with any kind of firearm, search and seizure. If anyone that you know in your department actually made one of these, see if you can obtain a few of the documents on topics that maybe you're not 100% on, and read over them so you can get acquainted on how to do things properly. I know a lot of us, when we first started, we used the duffel bags. Now people are transitioning into just using the backpacks because they're a lot smaller. So you don't necessarily carry as much as you did when you first started off as a new officer. It's just funny to see that. Another essential that I want to talk about is obtaining phone numbers that might be essential in your area. Booking is the number you want to call for when you either have to inquire about a inmate. That's the main line for the jail. I have data. Data is where you go to inquire about certain phone numbers or more information about people if you're going to a call, if you want to get a hold of a tow company, National Grid, anything like that. State DOT supervisor, the railroad crossing phone number. I have the on-call ADA, on-call medical examiner, because these are the people that you have to call when you have a death. The dog control, TA, which is basically 911, but kind of our direct line for them. You want to have all of those phone numbers saved in your phone. I save them under my favorites. And then I also have my mom, my dad, and home. It's just easier so that you can just go into your phone, go to favorites, scroll down, scroll up, and then call them. So that is definitely another essential, I would say, to think about and use. A translation app. I think part of the update for Apple is that they actually got a translation app, so you can change it to Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, anything. You can either type it, you can either speak it. I think that's super important because We encounter all walks of life, and if you can't talk to them, it's a little bit tricky. Just having this on your phone helps a lot. I've used it in the past. That is everything that I have to share with you guys. I think those are basically the top essentials that every police officer probably either uses or needs to start using. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Gives me a little bit of an idea if you guys liked the video, if you didn't. So don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I will talk to you guys later.